Hey everybody, I'm going to be showing you how to do the added hair Fauxhawk mohawk. My hair is already cut and been washed and molded down to the shape in which I need it. You'll be needing clips, some cutting shears, a rat tail comb, a styling comb. You'll also need bonding glue for your hair. I use Sebastian Shaper, but you can use any dry hairspray. You'll need a wet hairspray, that's Motion's Light Hold, and some curling wax. And the hair I'll be using today is Sensational Shorty. This one is actually a 9-inch, which is a bit longer than what I usually get. That one's the Italian Wave. And I have another hair that I'll be using, but that's Hicks Edges for last minute finishing. But that's the other hair that I'll be using in Glam Loose. That is for color and style. So you'll see that. That's the actual, I'm sorry, that's the Glam Loose there. And there's the other one just for hair color. Alright, so what you want us to do is first comb your hair out so that you know it's ready to go. Once you get done doing that, kind of make sure that it's good to go and you're not running into any tangles or things that'll slow you down. Go ahead and create a straight part on the back side of your hair. Try to keep your parts as clean as you can. Obviously you're doing your own hair, so they're not going to be perfect, but try to keep them as straight as you possibly can. This is so that the track has the area in which it will lay. Now we're going to take the hair and measure it out to see how much hair that we're going to need for that specific piece. Right now I'm going to go ahead and use the Glam Loose because I prefer to have my hair more dark than color. I only add specks of color in my hair. So anyway, you take the pieces and you somewhat measure it out. You want to go somewhat within the part. You don't want to go the full length of the part, and that's just to keep it from showing your tracks. So on the side of the track here, this is where you'll be adding the glue to bond to your hair. So after I add glue, I usually spray it with a little dry spray. That helps make the glue a little bit tackier so that it can dry faster. You apply the track to the area of the hair. You do not want to apply it directly to the scalp, but somewhat on the hair and on the scalp, if you understand what I mean. Use a little heat from the blow dryer to help dry the glue and set it. Run your fingers back and forth across to ensure that the glue spreads throughout the track and bonds properly. Alright, so now that we're done with the first one, we're going to take a little dry spray the hair that's going to get parted again, obviously. Take a little Marcel curling wax and use that to curl. As you can see, I don't have very much at all, very, very little. And you don't want to get too close to the roots with this because otherwise your tracks will slip, and you do not want that. So basically what I'm doing now that I've added the first track is parting the hair again, so that I have a little area that I can begin curling my hair. This purpose, or excuse me, I should say the purpose of this is to give the hair that's inside, being that this hair is longer anyway, it's going to have to be cut, something for more volume, more fullness. My hair is already very thick, so I have to make sure that when I put tracks in my head that it's fully covered. But you should already know that you can do it however you like. So now I'm taking some 1/2-inch curling irons, well, flat irons that can be used as curling irons, and curling that small area just to give it some bump. And you will see as we continue to move up in the hair how this works. So now as you can see, we're going to continue this step all the way until we get to the middle of the head. Here I am adding more tracks over that, giving it an opportunity to dry, using my blow dryer to set the glue. And again, as I said, you will repeat this process. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a colored track. Continue to feel your way through and make sure you're placing your track properly. So now what I'm doing on the side of the hair where the mohawk is, I'm leaving some hair out so that when I decide to go ahead and begin the curling process on the other side, I'm not showing any tracks. You will end up doing this on both sides of the hair to prevent any tracks from showing and also give you more of a mohawk look. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. That's why I had to tell. Go ahead and use a clip to pin any hair that you've parted out of the way, so that way it's easier to move forward. So now what we're going to do, that we have those split ready to go, you're basically going to split the middle piece to where it's pretty much half and half. Go ahead and use a large clip to clip the hair out of your way as you're working. And being that we're starting from the back because we're going to continue to work backwards, just clip it out the way and we will continue to move back. As you can see, I'm going to continue to apply the tracks smooth and use the blow dryer to set it. This will help us move faster. Just do your best to try to keep your parts as clean as possible. As you can see, it's pretty repetitive at this point. That's what you'll be doing all the way till you get to meet the middle portion. Continue to add your tracks, curl your hair in between, and move back. One thing you do want to be aware of as you're working your way back is as you're curling your hair, do your best to make the curl pattern match the curls that you're already placing in the hair. This makes it easier to blend once we start styling the hair. Again, you can find many different brands of hair. The one I primarily use is Oprah by Outre, but these ones here is my first time using Sensational. So far they're working well, okay. So now that the back is done, as you can see, it's starting to come together and I only have a little bit of color in there. We're going to start working towards the front. And being that this side of the front, my hair is molded going in another direction. So what I'm going to end up doing is my first 2 to 3 tracks in the front will be placed at an angle. And the reason I'm doing that is so that the hair falls properly. So go ahead and comb your hair upward. Do a 45-degree part. Again, straight as you can. After you do your part, you're going to go ahead and clip your hair out of the way yet again. And just with that first piece, you're not going to necessarily curl it, but just basically straighten it out, give it some curve, I should say, so that the hair lays down. Please make sure you're careful not to burn your forehead. That is a horrible sight to see. Now a really good trick if you have bendy type tracks, or if they come in the pack bent, take your flat iron prior to putting glue on it and kind of just smooth over the track so that it's not as bent, or if it's been rolled or curled, it straightens it out so it makes it easier to place. So go ahead and place that track in the front, same angle as your part. Use your blow dryer to set. And you'll repeat this process 2 to 3 times depending on how angled your hair has been molded. And just like the back, you will continue this process forward. Just continue to work through the hair, curling and setting. Go ahead and add your forward curls. As you can see, these curls are going to start to get a little more curve as we add more hair. But this is what you're going to have to do to get your Fauxhawk Mohawk. So now I'm going to put this in a faster motion so that you can see the process. As you can see, I've only added one track with color so far. I usually have a tendency, as I mentioned beforehand, to add more dark hair than colored hair. But of course, it's your style, your flavor, and do what you want to do. I prefer very subtle color to out there color when it comes to everyday wear.
I'm bugging. I'm really confused because I trust you with something.
So as you can see, we're going to continue to work back with the forward tracks going forward. Continue to mold and adjust, but after your third angled track, you should start doing more straight parts going directly across. This is so that it will lay properly, as I stated.
Because I really care about you, you know? So check this out, baby.
So we're going to continue to curl. Just ensure that you're taking your time when you're doing this, if it is your first time working with glue, because it's hard to get that glue out of your hair if you've got it attached directly to the hair itself. Now that you've pretty much laid all your tracks going towards that, your part should have gotten real thin, and you want to continue to add your tracks. But then once you get done, you want to go ahead and use your flat iron or curling iron to curl what's left. And you want to curl it more specific to the pattern of hair that you're using. As you can see, we're just about done. Place a few more curls and we will be done with the portion that requires us to curl and add tracks. And we will be moving on to the shaping side of this hairstyling segment. Now we're going to go ahead and curl that side hair that was left out earlier. And we're basically use a little Marcel wax, apply it to the hair, comb it through. And what we'll do is take the flat iron and we will curl it in a almost upward motion with a down stroke. See how that makes that just smooth into that hair? We're going to go ahead and repeat that on the same side, but on this side we're going to take smaller parts because that's the side with more hair, and we will curl it in that same direction, twisting our wrist as we go up. This keeps the hair from looking different than the pattern of curls that have been applied with the tracks.
A few warm thoughts, a subtle smile, a conversation through silence.
Again, I'm going to reiterate to be careful, being that you're working very closely to the scalp with this curling iron, flat iron, or whatever it is you're using to curl your hair. Just maintain that grip and slightly curve the wrist so that way you get the curl going in the upward direction. Just continue this process until you're done with a small section of hair and it all has curls. Alright, and this will be the last piece and we'll be done with this portion of this styling. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the back where we left out when we first started our tracks. Just curl the area up. I tend to flip mine up, down, whichever way I'm feeling for that time. A few of these are going to go down and the rest is going to go up. My hair has been cut into a V kind of mohawk. So once you've done that, it's going to be time to shear and razor cut for shaping. It is a Paul Mitchell styling comb. Well, it's called a carving comb. And that's to get all of this long hair, like I said, depending on how you guys want it, the best way to do is hold your head forward and pull any excess out. As you can see how it sits on top of the hair that's blended well. Go ahead and take your shears and start cutting in an upward motion. And that's just to maintain length throughout. You'll continue to do this through as you shape your hair. Just continue to work through and shape your hair. Snipping any overly long pieces. Just continue to work through the hair, finding any imperfections or what you consider to be imperfect, and clip and adjust as need be. So now I'm going to take the Paul Mitchell carving comb, and I'm going to go ahead and start to shape and thin out. The wider side is for thinning out. That way I can leave the length but thin it out some. Going in at an angle, just pulling through, and you will start to see the hair seem like it's not going to be very defined as you do this, but I'll be showing you how to adjust that once we're all done carving. So now you want to just use your hands to feel through. Make sure you're getting all the pieces. Just continue to feel for any strands that may be too long and continue to shear them out. So now as we get to this back side, I'm going to go ahead and start working the curler through that side to move the mohawk in that direction. So as you can see, I'm going to continue to use the carving comb to kind of get the little stray pieces out and see what I'm doing here. It's hard to do it by yourself, but if you have help, amen. But for the most part, if you're doing it by yourself, just get it to the best you can. Because either way, you're going to style it to where any left out pieces will be tucked and or cut. Continue to finger through and work your hair through until you can't do it no more. Continue to shear through and get any loose pieces in the best way you can, or adjust your curls as need be. So now I'm going to take some Motions Foam Setting Lotion. Only going to take about 2 or 3 pumps. You don't want a whole bunch. You don't want to wet the hair too much. And work that through the curls, and that's what I was telling you about earlier, to give the curls a little more definition once you got done using a carving comb or scissors to cut the hair down. So as you can see, you want to continue to work this through. You don't want to saturate the hair with the foam. So you want to make sure that you're using very little as you're working it through to match the curls to the curls that you put in your hair.
The food is great, the people is great, a wonderful place, climate is great.
We're almost done here. Just continue to work it through.
If you wanna get away just for a day.
Go ahead and use the styling comb, the wide side, to comb the hair into place on the sides where you've curled what was left out previously. Do keep in mind that this is an opportunity as well with the foam lotion to clip any spare hairs out floating around that you may not be too fond of. But you don't want to cut the hair too short, and you also don't want to leave it too long. So now I'm going to use some Hicks edges. I'm going to apply that to the side of my head where my hair is pretty much cut down the shortest. And the one thing about Hicks is the more you smooth it, the straighter your hair will get. My hair is already relaxed, but this adds that finishing slick to it. But you'll be able to see that it doesn't look as dry on camera anyway. As I continue to smooth it, you'll see it get more straight.
Jamaica, my number one girl.
Go ahead and use a small brush, smooth the rest of the sides down. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and clip that loose hair there. Go ahead and do it to the other side as well. So as you can see, I'm finishing up the smoothing in the back as well. So at this stage, you can go ahead and put any finishing touches as far as your curls go, placement, bobby pins, and things of that nature. At this point, it's going to be primarily finger work, little spraying and finger work. As you can see, for me, as an added level of security, I'll usually put some bobby pins more in the back for areas that I may not have reached when I was originally cutting the hair. But for the most part, you should only have to use 2 or 3 bobby pins at the most. Really, you shouldn't have to use any, but you know, if you feel like you need it, you can go ahead and do that. As you can see, I'm still putting finishing touches on both sides of the head.
Give it to you, mama. Just let me do me, alright?
So now I'm going to use some Chi Shine Infusion as a final step for a little bit of sheen. Gets the hair nice and shiny without feeling greasy. Spray that and then do your last finger through and make sure your hair is ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now done. So any additional tweaks you'd like to do, feel free. But for the most part, this style is complete. And that is how you do an added hair Fauxhawk. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching.
Because you are safe in my hands. I'm sure you've been needing my service. Baby, your wish will be my command.